Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kal Halal Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Kal Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy to sincere aquas that listen. So, Shalom, this is a month from GMS Toronto. So I just finished my workout. Then I went on a run, and then after the run, I go on a walk, and I listen to scriptures. Just meditate on the scriptures, and whatever comes to mind, I like to do a video on it. So I'm going to be doing a series of this. Yahweh Rataza. So I also recommend, my brothers, that I live here in Ontario, Toronto, GTA area. We're getting some decent weather out here in the middle of January. It's not even snowing. It rains. We're in like the -5, -6, even +3, +4, +5 type thing. So I recommend brothers take advantage of that and go on a walk and meditate on scriptures, especially you young brothers, man. Meditate on scriptures and learn. This is 2021, year dubbed the year that we hasten for Yahushua is coming. So, I did a video earlier today on the word on that topic, because Elder Apostle Tahar dubbed the year that, and then I did a video on the word hastening. Or I went into the word hastening within the video, and it means to be quick, man, to be fast, to have a sense of urgency. So, whoever you were last year, whatever you did last year, you gotta ramp it up. You gotta do better this year. And now I'm not saying that could bring the spirit of the world and New Year's resolution or anything like that. Our New Year's is not within dead of winter. Okay, us Israelite men, our New Year's is the Passover. Okay, in the spring, around March, April type thing. So, anyways, I'm gonna get to the scriptures. So really, I was reading sarach. I'll listen to sarach, the 20th chapter, and most of these scriptures. Well, I'll be reading through the chapter, through the book of Sarach, and I'll be doing videos just on precepts that hit my spirit. The spirit wants me to do video on. So this is Sarach 20 and 1. I'm gonna read 1 to 2, and then I'll jump down from 5 to 11. And then I'll just break down the scriptures and give my own experience and thoughts on them as well. So, Sarach 20 and 1, it says, "There is a reproof that is not comely. Again, some men holdeth his tongue, and he is wise." And that's straightforward, man. There is a reproof that is not comely, and basically, there's times when you might rebuke a brother. You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of how you speak to the brotherhood, or how you might reprove someone who's in the truth with you. There's a certain way there's a certain way to go about speaking to brothers who are laying down their lives for this truth, or suffering in this ministry with you. It's easy to be harsh and rough, because we're in that kind of spirit anyways, because we're in a time of war. Yahweh Shem Shai of host. And if from Heavenly Father, our Father, is in that spirit, where we think his sons are going to be in, right? So, but for brothers who are, sincerely in this truth, ministering with you, there's a way to go about reproving, and that should be considered. Again, some holdeth his tongue, and he is wise. That's right, because this is a time and place for everything. There's a time and place to speak. There's a time and place to keep your mouth shut. And that's a skill. That's a skill that takes time to learn. You know, it takes patience. You have to learn, you know, and I'm still learning that too. You know, I think it's a forever thing. You know, we won't be perfect until Yahushua comes and we get beamed up in the chair, slow rolling of the elect, right? It is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly. And this is, I resonate with this precept like 1000%. You know, I know people, like my woman is big for that, you know. She has hard time expressing herself within the moment, and because of that, you know, she kind of bottles up her emotions and then lashes out. Men do it too. I've been guilty of it too. You know, if a brother is offensive to you, or if a brother's doing something wrong, and you know, because us being righteous, we're gonna be well, let me just get to the point. If a brother's doing something wrong or he offends you, it's better for you to deal with it, you know, in the moment, you know, considering different elements, right? Considering this different factors. You know, you don't want to do it in front of people. If that's the last, if you have to, like that should be the last thing on your mind, to try to reprove or rebuke a brother in front of men, you know, to his embarrassment. That's nonsense, right? You don't want to do that to a brother. But if the scenario, you know, is, you know, you scan the scenario, you see what it's like, and then you wait, and then you eventually talk to that brother. You know, I like to wait maybe a day or two max, depending on the scenario, because sometimes you need more information, you know, to judge a scenario correctly, right? So it says, it is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly, and he that confesses his sins or his faults shall be preserved from hurt. That's right. Be honest with yourself, man. Be honest with yourself. That is, you know, I live by that, you know, just staying true to yourself. And when I say true to yourself, you know, really, you have to understand yourself in this truth. You know, you have to understand your spirit, and you have to understand your flesh. You have to understand both sides. You have to know who you, like, and when I say who you are in the spirit, you got to know what kind of man you are in the spirit, your character, because we don't actually know who we are, you know, further than that we know that, you know, the prophets of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, and we were sent to do this work. But the character and the mentality of your spirit, right? And then the characteristics and the traits and the tendencies, I should say, the tendencies of your flesh. You know, it's good for you to understand your flesh so you know how to guard against it. You know, it's hard to guard against something that you're not aware of, right? So, so yeah, be honest with yourself, man. So verse 5, we need to be honest with ourselves. You know, more honest if you know, if we're not already being, if we're already being honest, more honest as much as we can until it's complete. So verse 5, there is one that keepeth silence and is found wise, right? And another by much babbling, too much talking, okay, becometh hateful. And now, you know, like personally, you know, I can get on a rant. You know, it happens. I know, you know, for those of you who watch my videos, you probably hear it from time to time, and that's something that I'm working on, you know, just staying to the point and being straightforward and keeping things simple, just, you know. But so this really resonates with me, because it says, there is one that keepeth silence and he is found wise, and another by much babbling become hateful. No one likes someone who talks too much, man, especially men of understanding. If you're around men of understanding, elders, brothers who are in this truth with you, you know, they're, you know, we're the type of men that we want to, you know, get to the point, break it down simply, get to the point, let's move on. Boom, hastening is coming, right? Verse 6, some men holdeth his tongue because he hath not to answer, and some keep silent knowing his time. And that's what I talked about earlier, right? Understanding, you know, when to speak, when not to speak, man. And it comes down to, and that's a good characteristics to have, because even, you know, within camp, when you're out there pushing the word, pushing the truth. You know, it's about order within the brotherhood when we're speaking, man. You know, wait for a brother to speak, make his point, then maybe chime in or add on to what he's saying, and then whatever it may be. But it's about you know, keeping that tongue under control, right? A wise man, verse 7, a wise man will hold his tongue till he see opportunity. That's a tactician, right? That's a tactician, someone who's tactful. Okay, it says, but a babbler and a fool will regard no time. So yeah, man, like someone who's wise and actually understands what they're saying. That, you know, babbling comes from not understanding what you're saying. You know, you don't actually understand what you're saying, so you're babbling. That's why, if, you know, I don't know if you brothers ever notice when you ask someone a question, and you know you ask them a straightforward question and they babble, and you can see the wheels turning, and they're babbling because they're trying to talk their way into the answer, right? And they're trying to talk their way to the answer because they actually don't know the answer. It's better and more honest and actually more respectable for a man to say, you know, I sincerely don't know. This is kind of what I have thoughts. This is what I come up with. This is what I've thought about, and then explain yourself. But you're babbling all day. It's you know, it makes you look like a fool, and it's not really pleasing to the ears of the man that's asking the question too, right? So that's another term for that, is talking out of your ass. You know, that's what they call that, when you're talking out of your ass and you're just kind of winging it, right? And it goes back to being honest, man. If you're honest, say you know. If you know, speak. If you don't know, don't. Just say you don't know. You know, no one can ever condemn you for being honest at the end of the day, right? And as long as you're sincere, you're fine. He that useth many words shall be abhorred. Abhorred means like to stay away from something, right? It's nasty. He's annoying or whatever it may be. You want to abhor something, so stay away from it. That's what it means. You know, loosely translated. Abhorred. And he that taketh to himself authority therein shall be hated. You know, self-proclaimed commander General Johanna. That's this is you know, that's who I think of when I read this precept. All right. There is a sinner that hath good success in evil things. Okay, 2/3 of Israel, but mainly I'm thinking about Esau. Esau has had a lot of success in his evil deeds, right? And success on the left-hand side, right? And in his wickedness, he's had tons of success. That's why they were able to build America and really build the desolation thereof. You know, talking about, I think that's in Malachi, that we will return to the impoverished places, and we will build the desolation thereof. Roughly paraphrasing, I don't remember exactly the precept. Sarach, I might be butchering it. So, but I mean, you brothers who know the precept, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can put it on the comment board as well. Actually, I'll probably do that too after the video. I'll look for that precept. But let me read that again. It says, there is a sinner that hath good success in evil things, and there is a gain that turneth into loss. And that's what's happening to Esau right now. Esau's kingdom, which was successfully built, you know, off the blood, sweat, tears of us Israelites, okay, us Jakes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and North American Indians. You know, Esau's success was off of us, but it's going to turn into a loss soon. And it has been turning into a loss already, man. This beast system is declining. America's finished. This kingdom is finished. There's nothing here, man. The only thing here is the truth. The only thing beautiful in this kingdom is the truth and the brotherhood. You're right. You know, so, and we're waiting for that, man. We're praising Yahweh Shem Yahshai for that. There is a gift that shall not profit thee, and there is a gift whose recompense is double. this, you know, this, you can apply this to many different things. And what I think about when I read this is Esau's blessing of the sword. Because the word sword is, when you look it up, loosely translated, it's a killing instrument. So anything could be a sword. A gun is a killing instrument, a bat, you know, nuclear missiles, you know, all types of a weapon that can kill you, a killing instrument. So Esau's blessing was a sword, which is a killing instrument. And, you know, it's funny because with that blessing, he's been able to take over the world, terrorize nations, you know, go into different, go into the nations' countries and set up their so-called democracy, right? So-called democracy, and set up their base camps and really just do whatever they want on the earth. So they've been able to do that through their military might, through the blessing of the sword. But it's funny because them making these missiles, these ICBM missiles, okay, the engineers that Esau hires to make these ICBM missiles and all that, their very blessing of the sword is going to be turned around on their own head. Double. You know what I mean? Because these missiles are going to blow up, you know, eradicate America, you know, parts of, you know, destroy Jerusalem, because that place needs to be cleaned out. Parts of America, or parts of Russia, certain parts of the world are going to be destroyed. And Esau being saved, you know, the higher echelons, the Edomites that are saved from the destruction are going to be put right into slavery. Right? Now, so let me read that again. There is a gift that shall not profit thee, and there is a gift whose recompense is double. Right? Esau's gift, his recompense is going to be double what he did to us. Because he used that blessing to destroy us continually, man. So it's going to be put onto him double. I think Revelation 18 talks about that. You know what? Let me get that real quick. I got my... So, Revelation 18:6, reward her, even the her is talking about is America, okay? Babylon, spiritually Babylon and Egypt. Reward her as she rewarded you, because in America, that's where we went through slavery, man, right? And, you know, they did all types of, you just can look it up, and you can see everything we went through in the time of hardcore slavery. Okay, reward her as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. So what they did to us, we're going to do to them double, man. So again, this precept is fitting of that. You know, sarach 20:10, there is a gift that shall not profit thee, because it was a blessing given to Esau, right? And the sword was a blessing given to Esau, and there is a gift whose recompense is double, right? Recompense means it's synonymous to consequence. You know, the word consequence. So what's going to happen, the reaction to the action, right? And it says, the last verse here, there is an abasement because of glory, which that resonates, man, because we as Israel, but really we as the men, okay, the hopeful elect, sincerely pushing this truth, beginning with the apostles and elders on down, we've been put in a place of abasement, but for the sake of glory. Because Yahushua went through the same thing. Yahushua was abased for the sake of glory, being the first begotten son, or the only begotten son of Yahweh, which is the first spirit created. That's what that means, right? So there is an abasement. An abasement means to be brought low because of glory. And there is that lifted, and there is that lifted up his head from a low estate. And we're getting ready to lift up our heads from a low estate, man. okay, through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. We're getting ready to lift up our heads from a low state. What I mean by that, I mean we're getting ready to get our new bodies and start, getting busy. Yahweh Ratazah, we're of the elect. Because you can say that we already are lifting our heads up from a low state because we have gotten the wisdom and understanding, okay, of the scriptures, right, through the prophets or through the apostles and the elders on down. And because we have the understanding of the scriptures, that puts us on a high. That brings our self-confidence and our self-image and our self-respect up, man, in truth and in sincerity, right? And that comes from fearing Yahweh Yahushai, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay, so we're already in that, but we're in the transition. We're about to complete that, man. Yahweh Ratazah, this is the last year that we're here in this wicked ass society, man. So anyways, I want to share my thoughts on those scriptures. So with that, I hope this was edifying. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna say Ka Hala Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai B'Hashem Ukah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone. Salutations to the elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity across the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy to the sincere Akwath that listen. And I want to say Abba Babal, Kwame Asher Allah, and Shalom.